Now that's what I'm talking about, Disney Plus. This was the perfect episode of WandaVision. I loved it from beginning to end. Absolutely perfect. My problem with episode 4, which I think is the worst episode of the series so far, even though it gave you the most information, it just lacked the spark that the other episodes had because of the lack of Wanda and Vision. I still like the 4th episode, don't get me wrong. But episode 5 took the best of what I liked about episode 4 and the other three episodes and gave you the best of all of it. And so episode 5 was the best episode of WandaVision. I absolutely have no flaws. Paul Bettany in this episode was particularly very good, especially in that final scene. The final scene in general, I'm sure you guys have all heard it by now, but I'm not going to say it to avoid spoilers, just in case if you haven't. Loved it. Loved it. That's all I'll say. The final scene was amazing. But the kids, the little boys that they the Billy and what's the other one? Tommy. They were both good child actors. It worked. They fit the time frame perfectly. They had tons of funny gags. I love Elizabeth Olsen in that one scene. You know what? I want to give my rating and then go full spoilers from now on. I'm going to give this episode a 9.4 out of 10. But anyways, spoilers in 3. Oh, didn't mean to flip you off. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're getting into spoilers. That one scene with Elizabeth Olsen where she took the drone and brought it out to everyone and kind of revealed that she's kind of the bad guy in this series was one of my favorite scenes of the whole show so far. I love the addition of we're getting a little bit more information why Wanda is there. I mean, how Vision is there. Of course, Evan Peters showing up in the end. How was that not the first thing I brought up? Loved it. I kind of saw that coming, but still, my jaw dropped. I was, especially that they mentioned him in the other episode. I saw it coming, and the fact that they have Evan Peters from the X-Men movies is very, very, very cool. I am hearing, if you guys haven't, well, I'm hearing a lot of fan theories. If you guys don't want to hear this fan theory because it's a fairly common one, you guys can click off now. But I'm going to discuss this fan theory that I'm actually quite fond of. And I'm going to discuss it in 3, 2, 1. Very excited for, well, supposedly, a lot of fans have been coming up with this, and it makes sense, Patrick Stewart to show up at the end of this show. One, he's the absolutely perfect Professor X, and he's met with Kevin Feige, confirmed. Paul Bettany said that is a legendary actor that he's always wanted to work with. I don't think Evan Peters is a legendary actor that everyone wants to work with. But Patrick Stewart, on the other hand, sounds like an actor like Paul Bettany would always want to work with, and he hasn't worked with him before. So that was really cool. But anyways, love this episode of WandaVision. Best episode so far. And yeah, that's all I really have to say, because most of the time I really elaborate on my problems, but I think this episode struck a perfect balance between the reality and the sitcom. I never felt like I was either being tugged one way or the other. It felt very natural. The progression of the episode was very good. And like I said, I give it a 9.4 out of 10. So that's all I have to say about WandaVision Season 1, Episode 5. Loved it. So yeah. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that. And adios.